It's a common question, unfortunately. Is my life really worth living? I've got some strong opinions about that, but I'm not leaving you alone today. I brought in a guest that I think you're going to love. Hey guys, want to introduce you to my friend McKay.
Hey guys, what's going on?
McKay caught my attention recently as we were having a discussion about this very topic. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And he had some insights that I'm hoping we can talk about a little bit on today's episode. Let's just answer the question right up front. Is my life worth living? McKay?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Just yes?
Yes.
Absolutely yes.
Yes.
Doesn't it drive you nuts that this is even an issue?
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but I can understand where the people are coming from. That sometimes it's a question we need to answer.
In fact, let's get into that a little bit. The fact that you or someone you love might be asking this question doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's actually a really common thing. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed this in our society today?
Yeah, I know lots of people who ask this question regularly, but it's an issue that we need to deal with. And so
I think it's just because life is hard. But we do a lot of comparison too. Mm-hmm. In fact, in today's social media world, this has become really, really common. That you see how wonderful and well organized everybody else's life is, right? It seems like they've got it all together.
Yeah.
And then I look at my own life and I'm thinking, man, I got nothing.
Yeah. I was talking to a bunch of school counselors, and the majority of them all said, you know, every problem that they deal with like mental health, stuff like that, typically has to do with social media.
Now, you're a student.
Yeah.
You're interested in some of the same things that I'm doing at a very different place in your career. And as I was talking to you, McKay, I noticed that the culture that we've created around social media, around comparison, around maybe the illusion of connection. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah.
It's an illusion. It's not that we're really connecting with people. It's more superficial. And I think it's contributing to the problem that we're dealing with.
For sure.
What is it that people are really looking for in your experience? What are you finding that people your age especially are looking for or craving?
I think lots of the people my age are looking for a sense of belonging and a sense of connection. And those two kind of go hand in hand, but they really want to feel connected deeply to someone else, and they want to feel like they are a part of something bigger than themselves. And they're a part of a group that loves them and supports them. And so I think lots of times, you know, social media is where they go for that.
Really more about connection, feeling important, feeling like you belong then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think when people are struggling with the question, is life worth living? They don't want anyone to solve all their problems. They just want someone to be there for them and to love them.
So McKay, there's some traditional approaches, and I'm very familiar with some of those, having been trained in clinical psychology. I think traditionally we see someone who's really struggling with that question, and we think, okay, well, what's wrong with them, and how can we fix that?
Yeah.
Something I've realized through my conversations with you and the project that you're doing that we're going to get to here in just a minute, because I want you to hear what he's doing that is making it an impact. It's making a difference out there and probably saving some lives.
Yeah.
We got to get off of the old what's wrong with you kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And simply get back to why life is worth living, or a realization that every individual is important and contributes in important ways without the comparisons that are so common in social media.
Yeah.
And maybe we can't get away from that entirely.
Yeah. I think that when you boil down to it, the question, why my life is worth living, is always answered because of deep connection with someone else. It's never really answered because like, oh, I have 10,000 followers on Instagram, so life's worth it.
Therefore.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's why we need to take a little bit more of a not traditional approach to this question that people ask is because most of the time they're just like, oh, there's a problem, let's fix it, and then my life will be worth living. But I think they need to go deeper and say, oh no, there's something missing in my life. Maybe it's connection, maybe it's love, maybe it's service, maybe it's gratitude. Some of those deep things that people don't really see at a surface level.
Right. You've started something.
I have.
You and Daxton. I met
Yeah.
with Daxton, your business partner in this particular venture. Tell our audience a little bit about what you're doing and how it's working.
Cool, yeah. So me and Daxton, we are just two young kids and two college kids, and we wanted to make a difference in the world. And so we thought, let's take a different approach to helping people who struggle with suicide and depression and anxiety and just things that are hard. And so what we did, we started a little business called Life Worth Living right here, Life Worth Living.
That's the shirt.
This is our shirt that we
LWL
make.
2020.
Yeah, Life Worth Living 2020. And so what we want to do is we want to help the people who struggle with suicide. And we know that's 10 to 24-year-olds. Like statistics say, 10 to 24-year-olds, it's the second leading cause of death in the United States.
Oh, you're right. You're right, McKay. And this just drives me nuts sometimes that the most energetic, powerful segment of our population is struggling very commonly. It's not just you, it's not just people you know. It becomes such a private battle sometimes that people feel so isolated. And this is something that I love about your project, because you're saying, hey, wait a minute, you're not the only one who's feeling this way. And there's some alternatives. Your life is worth living.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's why we wanted to take a little non-traditional approach, is because we know these young people, they typically, when something's wrong, what do? Pull out their phone, Google, what should I do? They Google it, they search it on social media.
That's how you found this video.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what we did was we started an Instagram page and we just post about people's hard times. And we provide a space that uplifts and supports in a place where young people tend to go, where young people really like to go. And so it's just Life Worth Living 2020 on Instagram. And people post about the hard things in their lives, and then they say, hey, even though my life is hard, it's still worth it. And so we want to give a space for those people who are still like asking themselves, is my life worth it? We want to give them a place to go and feel uplifted and say, yeah, my life is worth it. This guy did it, I can do it too.
I love that conversation, McKay. That is so powerful. And it's not some psychologist like Dr. Paul up there just, yammering on about everything they learned in graduate school. These are real people sharing very authentically what their stories are. And life is hard. Welcome to Earth. And life is still worth living. In fact, sometimes it's those hard things that make it so rich and abundant. And when that is shared, I think you're finding this, aren't you? That the conversations that come up or the interactions solidify that idea.
Yeah.
That yes, your life is very much worth living, and that brings value to the whole community.
People are really attracted to it because of the real people, and they're sharing their experience, and they're not saying, hey, you should go do this, and this in order to feel better. They're just saying, hey, this is what happened to me, and this is what helps me feel good. And so maybe you should try it if you want. That's what I love. It's a place of support, not a place of demand or telling people what to do or anything like that. It's just people who are like, yeah, life's hard, and they're supporting each other.
So it's a community really that you're creating, a network of people who are willing to not only share their story, but to show up and support each other in this important question.
Yeah, exactly.
And they can get the shirt?
Exactly.
Woohoo!
Shirts are awesome, but they're not the main thing of what we want to do. We want our shirts to be kind of like a reminder. So if someone's like, man, like life's hard. Today, like you wake up in the morning, you're just like, man, today just doesn't feel like my day. Then they walk into their closet and they say, man, what should I wear? And they look at this shirt and they can say, yeah, wow, I remember now, like life is worth living. And I like that shirt, and that shirt's going to help me remember what I knew yesterday. So
very cool. So where can people find the Instagram Is it Life Worth Living
Yeah.
on Instagram?
Yeah, so it's at Life Worth Living 2020.
With the 2020?
Yeah, 2020
Okay.
on the end. And then lifeworthliving2020.com too. And same with the Facebook. So those 3 places, you can go and check out everything that we have. And if you are struggling with anything, feel free to message us. We'll get back to you and we'll support.
You just heard how to get connected to McKay and Daxton and the community there at Life Worth Living. Life Worth Living 2020 on Instagram. Thank you, McKay, for doing
Thank
what
you.
you're doing.
This guy's the man. Way to watch his videos.
Well, you know what? We're a team that's got your back. So if you're resonating with what McKay has shared here today, hop on over there and contribute to that community. And make sure you come back here because we'll have new videos for you again tomorrow.
I could be color unknown, and then I tell how